In this video, I'd like to explain how durable functions distributed tracing with external system outside of the durable functions. I'd like to explain about that. So if you walk, if you might wondering you might wondering if the how durable functions distributed tracing of the external system. This is a diagram of an external relationship. That if you have an external system that calling the durable function system, for example, in this case, you need to pass the header and ID with the header like this. So for example, the trace parent HTTP header, for example, or the request ID. So you can send ID like this from the external system. Then the Azure functions get started. Then the Azure functions automatically read the header and generate a new ID like request ID, and also this is include the parent ID of that is trace parent one same one. So this is how correlate works from outside of the Azure functions. Then these functions execute the orchestrator, then create a dependency telemetry automatically, and the parent ID would be Azure functions request ID. That's the last one. So same thing happens after the orchestrator happens, and request ID is generated, and parent ID is the same as the dependency ID of the function, Azure functions. Same thing happens if this is called activity ID, dependency ID is created and the function executed, and the parent ID would be dependency ID of the orchestration. And once orchestrator finish executing, completed, then in this case, the request telemetry and dependency telemetry is sent to application inside. You might wondering that you might want to get the request ID inside of the orchestrator or activity ID, activity functions, because you might want to track custom telemetry, or you might want custom dependency telemetry by yourself to send the external system. In this case, you can do it like this. So I'm gonna explain how to do it. So here I'm executing the durable functions locally. So now I'm gonna execute the one. The first function, this one, is represent the external system. This is just creating the activity current. This is automatically generated, and you can see the 70 and 50 FF or something like that. This is the ID. So this is sent through the HTTP client. This is called this function. This is a represent the actual durable functions client HTTP trigger. In this case, under the hood, the durable Azure functions host automatically generate the dependency telemetry for you from this one, and set the header automatically on the trace parent. So if you are not using Azure functions, you need to do it by yourself. So then let's go. Then the telemetry request sent to the Azure functions now from the outside like this. So now that this is Azure function started, if you see that this header value of the trace parent, you can see the trace parent is just set like this. This is the ID of the dependency telemetry of the last system. If you see the current activity, you can find this is D2 to C or something. Then if you see the current activity in here, you can see the new ID is generated, but this part is the same, and so that is why correlated. You can see the parent ID is D22. That is the same as this one. So this is how correlated. And then when this is the starter is Azure functions, the durable orchestration client. Inside of this client, this guy automatically sees this value of the activity current. and set as a the current request telemetry, and also the create a dependency telemetry for you inside of this. Let's see the next. You can see the orchestrator is started now. It's taking a little bit time because my PC is very busy because recording now. So you can see if you want to use get the request ID or other the correlation context, you can use this class correlation trace context dot current. Then you can get trace context object inside of this. Lot of the telemetry is included, the operation name and request or something like that. You can use this. And if you want to use a custom telemetry, you can do like this. The telemetry client track. In this case, orchestrator cannot use the activity in this time. And also this one is custom telemetry activity ID, something parent span ID is here. And if you execute this one, then it is called activity ID. For the activity ID, how can you track? How can you get a request ID for you? Soon you will see that. Wait a little bit. Then you can see this is code. This is simply use activity.current. Then you can see the value. As you can see, that this is the parent ID is the same as the dependency ID of the orchestrator, and automatically created inside the functions. And also this one is the first part is totally the same, so it is correlated. So this is newly generated. So you can use this, and for example, you can track by yourself like this value. So what happened inside of the portal? So you can see that all correlation is correlated like this, correlated, and this is from the external system that you can correlate it. This is automatically created and automatically tracked, and also this is the first function named this, and they execute the orchestration and the activity or something like that, and you can find the custom telemetry in here for the orchestration. You can see in here activity ID and parent span ID one is here, and you can see the activity custom telemetry is here. So this is what the external correlation looks like for the Drone functions. Thank you very much for watching.